Hello, my friends. This is the latest video about CAD templates and a bit of PDF also. Okay, if you open the file, you'll see the canary construction grid where this area is for the proposed project. This area is for the existing conditions. This area is for plans in particular, just to get them organized. And now explain this area is for plans and the bottom is for elevations. Now, there are some blocks that are basically the blocks that we need to use. And if we creating new blocks, well, we need to name them properly. But these are the base blocks. Okay, we have some for furniture, like fridges, beds, tables, and most of them are annotative or dynamic blocks. Then we have some entourage blocks. These are also entourage, like vehicles, trees, and people. And then we have the important stuff, which are the annotation blocks. In case we are annotating in AutoCAD, which doesn't need to be always the case. Now, in this one, we also have the layers. So we have the auxiliary layers, like layers to do these rectangles, for example, or to have external reference that prints, that doesn't print, etc. Then we have layers for other disciplines. Then we have the main layers, which are demolition layers, existing layers, and proposed layers. Now, in here we have some basic layers that are annotation, to annotate, diagrams for lines that doesn't exist and are a bit like concepts, like boundaries and setbacks and stuff like that. And entourage is basically for things that you can touch, but that's it's not part of the project, like for example this table or the car. um, but it would be the case that they ask in the project to do joinery. Well, then it is part of the project, so it wouldn't be no interact, would be the normal layers, which are projection and section. And projection is for anything that is not cut by a section plane, and section just cut by a section plane. And then we have path, which is pattern. Yeah, simple as that. Now we also have some line types. We also have some color codes and how things looks in the screen and how will be printed. So for example, these colors that you see here, if we print in PDF, we'll see yeah, these ones, that red is black, yellow is dark gray, green. So we use the number one, we just go the sequence, and it goes lighter and lighter and lighter. And then magenta is for annotation, so it's very thin but black. In color 7, now we start working on contrast. Color 7 would be really black, which is white. And then color 8 it would be like 9, and then color 9 would be like 8. So it's a bit confusing, but then you get used to it. And then color 30 is invisible, and color 40 is gray. Now then we have some other colors that are decidable if we add color in the plant. One is for cavity or enclosed spaces, like for example the lift shaft, or under the under space of a slab. Then we have 43, 45, 47, which can be for timber or for stone, just to add a bit of color. Then vegetation is normally 63, water 144, glass 142, and then one color for diagrams for real things that have to stand up, 242, but this is just a suggestion. And then colors for demolition. Then we have here some annotation blocks, especially this one, and all of them are um, dynamic and do a lot of stuff. We have here also for annotation things that change the data depending on the edge of this rectangle. If you want to use this, you have to copy the geometry and the tag, and then you do, let's say like this, then you click region, and it will add and change the perimeter and all the stuff. Then we have the existing heights, elevations in our rails, which is very important, and multi-leaders. Now, we also have these blocks that are to work then in PDF. So these blocks are invisible. The only thing that will print is the file name. So once you rename this file, it will change this one automatic. And this file is to have a template to then have the logo and the data of the company and the data of the project and the legends and all that, and everything fits properly. So basically, the area of drawing would be this one. Oh, you can actually get it to up to this one. I show an example. So we have this drawing that has used that, but because it was in color 30, it doesn't print. But everything it fits in place. So what we need to do is then just add the templates and everything that we have already set up for this, and then we can change the name, like page 1, and page 1 we go to document, headers and footers, and then we have one that is by default. So then it will add the page, and then we have one for notes, and then we have plenty of information that makes very easy to annotate in here. Then ideally we actually annotate everything in Bluebeam, but we also have the capability of annotating in here. Now, so where are those different rectangles and where are those scales? Well, if we work in the layout space, it's a possibility. Then we work with graphic views, I think it's called. And then we can change the scale and we can cut it, whatever. So in this case, we just zoom out and use the scale we want. And for this, we have a proper title block that we can edit, right click the block, no problem. But also, we have the title block that doesn't print, and we can set up different views with the view graphic view. But also, as another alternative, we could populate, this is 1:100, this one, and actually make the drawing in here, or reference some elevations on some plans in here with a different set of layers set up, like some layers on, some layers off, whatever. And we can then have plans that are 1:50 or 1:20, and in this plan 1:20 we have maybe joinery cabinetry or whatever, and then the only thing we need to do is Control P, previous plot, window, select this. Now this will come in position, so then when we add the titles and everything in Bluebeam or in another PDF program, it will fit in position. So yeah, there are these two ways of printing. One is having the page on this area, or we just do the drawing, like the plans and the elevations, and printing from the viewport, or any combination from there. So this, as long as there are no drawing on top of these squares, so we can have a neat drawing, and always the floor plans are referenced. For example, let's say that this is the building, and we have different plans. This corner of the building have to be in the same position. Or if we have elevations, the front boundary have to be in the same position, so everything lines up beautifully when we read the whole PDF. So I think, yeah, this is a general overview of the file, but probably need to open an existing file and surf through it and play around just to understand a bit better. Thank you. Bye bye.